Has anyone ever had a great influence on your life? For me, it's a former teacher. As a student, many teachers were great, but none have had a greater impact on me than this special guy. Of course, everyone has had teachers who have showed great compassion. Today, I would like to pay tribute to Mr. Wallace, my 6th grade math teacher. Mr. Wallace cares for others. He is hardworking and very funny. Mr. Wallace teaches his students by his example of unselfishness and caring for others. A few days ago, my friend and I went to visit him before our lunch break. We talked for about 5 minutes, and before we left, he gave us his last Laffy Taffy candies. This shows how generous and unselfish he is. When I was in 6th grade, math was difficult for me. If Mr. Wallace saw that I was having trouble, he would make learning fun and easier to understand. Math was soon my favorite subject because of him. Also, during class sometimes, Mr. Wallace would tell us stories about his family that were funny. Each story would make his students laugh and put a smile on their faces. This shows that he cares about our feelings. Even this year, if I'm having trouble with my 8th grade math problems or don't understand something, I will go to him and he will try all he can to help me. I always understand after he helps me because he knows the best way to explain challenging things. My middle school challenges do not compare to the trials Mr. Wallace faces while teaching. Mr. Wallace teaches his students by his example of being hardworking. After we took a test, he would always try to get the results back to us as soon as possible. He knew how badly we wanted to see how we did, so most of the time we would get our results back the next day because he was so hardworking. Mr. Wallace would sign us homework almost every night. He expected us to be as hardworking as he was. He told us about how he would coach his son's baseball games. Even out of school, he was a hard worker, trying to help his team succeed. In addition to being so hardworking, Mr. Wallace was a funny person. Mr. Wallace was a very funny guy and had a great sense of humor. One day, he pretended to throw a student across the room as a joke, and he had us all in hysterics. He even made up funny nicknames for some of his students. My nickname was Oakley Dokley Megan Coakley. Another time, he drew a triangle on the wall to get us to pay attention, and it helped us learn as well. Mr. Wallace has a great sense of humor shown by all of these things, so I hope you can see what a truly unique and wonderful individual Mr. Wallace is. Obviously, we have all had teachers who are good to us in some way, and I hope you can see how Mr. Wallace's way of caring, hardworking ability, and funny personality makes him an amazing teacher to all his students. The impact that this man has upon people who know him is undeniably proven with all the laughs, smiles, and happiness, and more that he brings to his classroom. Even though I am heading for high school, I will always remember Mr. Wallace as a great person who impacted my life in a positive way.